What's up, everybody? It's your boy GARDNSOUND with another sick video on stuff you didn't even know you wanted to know about. We read now, boys. Today, I'm gonna talk to you all about the speaker right here. As always, it's your boy GARDNSOUND and Lila the bird. Yes, she's up here, Lila the bird. Right when I turn the camera on, you behave. I need to just have the camera on all the time so she behaves like this all the time. So what is that box and what's it used for? That's an Avantone Mixcube. I did a really quick review on it. Nobody watches really quick reviews! Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Anyway, if you haven't seen my really quick review on it, I'm going to put a link to that in the description down below as well as at the end of this video. Basically what it does is it mixes in mono, or it gives a mono signal because it's just one speaker, right? There's a couple of things you need to do, especially in Ableton, to make sure that you're getting a mono signal to the mono speaker. And what's the purpose of this anyway? Why do we care about mixing in mono? What the hell? So I'm going to be taking a lot of what I'm about to say from this article right here on Sound on Sound. Sound on Sound is a well-respected publication on bedroom studios, studio mixing in general, and just best practices for mixdowns, audio equipment, and pro audio stuff. If you've never heard of them, go check it out. Anyway, this particular article was written by Hugh Robjohns and Mike Sr. Both are dudes that have been doing pro audio for a long time. Mike Sr. Has over 20 years of experience in the broadcasting realm, so that's especially significant because although we think of the internet as hardline connection, that type of thing, it still is broadcasting. Streaming is very similar to broadcast technology. Things you need to consider are similar, so this is a very good resource to read. What we're going to be doing today is looking at why mixing in mono is a good idea, how it can benefit you, and just how to do it. I'm going to be specifically talking about Ableton. If you're not using Ableton, I'm sure there's something similar in your DAW of choice. And finally, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to be mixing something in mono so you can hear what the difference sounds like if there is a difference. This is going to be a live test. This is something I have a little bit of experience with, but not a whole lot. So I'm going to mix something down in stereo and mix something down in mono, and then we'll listen to the product together, and you can tell me whether or not you think it's better or worse. First thing you're probably thinking is, but Gardener, I don't want to buy another piece of equipment. Well, the good news is you don't need to buy one of these boxes in order to replicate what I'm trying to do here. That's the good news. This thing, however, does give you a very balanced, plain signal. And the same type of thing I'm trying to do can be done with your regular monitors. And you can either just turn one of them off and reposition yourself, or you can set your DAW to just output a mono signal. Now, it's not going to be quite as good as the effect that you're going to get from this Avantone because this is a single driver, tiny speaker that puts like a very, very balanced and technically shitty sound out. You're probably thinking to yourself, Gardner, why do I even want to put my music through this type of testing? Why do I want to make it sound like crap? Here's the answer. What most people are listening to or worse. Little known fact, people who listen to music through their phone's speakers are also the same people who take vertical videos. So since the unwashed masses are going to be consuming your digital media through shitty speakers like that, you need to know how it sounds on them. Now, here's the thing. If you know what it sounds like, you can make it sound pretty good. For instance, that Tears for Fears remix, which is what I'm about to be showing you, mixed via mono, I haven't mixed in mono, that's mixed in stereo. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix it down in mono and see whether or not it sounds better or worse. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this track, I'm going to play you a bit of my mix down in stereo right now. Alright, so what I'm about to do is take that mix down you just heard. I'm going to do a save as in Ableton, which is just Control-Shift-S. And the next thing I'm going to do is take this track and I'm going to mix it down using my mixing standards, but I'm going to be using this speaker instead. Now, there's a couple of considerations I have to take into account before I do that. The first thing is going to the master channel, and before putting anything else in here, well, I'm actually going to go ahead and deactivate Spectrum and my mastering suite. I'm going to be sticking a utility at the very end of the chain with everything else deactivated and setting this to mono mode, ensuring that Ableton is outputting a mono signal. Now, I have a true mono signal going to a true mono speaker. The next thing I'm going to do is mix this down using the exact same mixing standards that I use when I mix in stereo, except I'll be using this as my reference speaker and not these. Here we go. Alright, that's about as good as I could get it to sound out of that speaker. I'm gonna export a copy of this so you can hear the full file, and I'm gonna compare the two. So you'll see side-by-side comparison of something mixed in stereo versus something mixed in mono. Tell me which one you think sounds better in the comments down below. Yeah, I don't know. After listening to these back to back, I'd say I prefer the stereo one. Maybe I just need to practice more with the mono speaker. I think one of my main gripes about this is that there's not enough snare in the mono version. There's not enough brightness, not enough highs, which makes sense because this speaker is only capable of producing so much. It's just a woofer. It's not a tweeter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is it just that I suck at mixing in mono? I'm fine with admitting that. And maybe I just need more practice, but maybe I just use that for a reference now. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I mix it in stereo and then use that for a reference and make a tweak. Not really sure. I'm really not sure what the takeaway here is, but there you go. You learned something, I hope. At any rate, my name is Garden Sound. This is Lyle the Bird. See you next time.